I keep hearing in my spirit, the suddenlies of God, when you least expect it, when you least expect it. I put out this challenge to one of my communities and I said, always be in expectation, because when you least expect it, right? When you least expect it, it's coming. And so we have this expectation of the accelerated hour of God that we're in. We all feel these new things coming, shifting, these pivots, these things that God is requiring of us to prepare and get ready for the new. He is accelerating his kingdom in this hour. And those of us who are called and chosen of God, he's sharpening our gifts. He's sharpening our spiritual faculties. He's increasing the gifts that he gives us, the gift of wisdom, the gift of knowledge, the gift of prophecy. We have to ask for these gifts. But so many of us, we can sense that the change is here. Listen, these past few years, we have paid some serious dues, many of us private dues. We have had and endured things that nobody would ever imagine. And yet in that private suffering, God was preparing us for this great time of catapulting into new realms and new levels and new dimensions of his glory, his destiny, and the assignment that is attached to our lives. We are in the last days, and in these last days, God, before he comes for this glorified rule and reign on this earth, God is literally accelerating his people quickly now. The suddenlies of God are here. And I find that in so many ways, they come through surrender. Through surrender. There's nothing that gets you quicker to that goal line than giving it to God. One of my sons has always had a dream of working in a certain part of the entertainment industry. And this can be a tough industry, a lot of rejection, a lot of feelings of powerlessness, waiting to be chosen, all of these things. And so, it can be brutal on your psyche, on your self-esteem. And yet there was a promise that he was believing for, an opening with this entertainment industry. And we saw him. He came to visit us on one city of the tour in Nashville. And I said, baby, what did you cross over into? And he said, Mom, I crossed over into rest. He's like, I just let God have my career. I let God have it all. He said, I was wearing myself down with all of this unnecessary suffering because the timing wasn't right. Listen, when the timing of God is here, there is nothing you can do to stop the sudden movements, the open doors. And yet one of the ways that we can see even the timing accelerate is through surrender. It's to come to the end of ourselves and realize that it was always in God's hands anyway. That God is doing things behind the scenes that we don't even imagine, but he wants to invite us to rest. When something is being worked out that is according to something that's outside of our realm of control. In this case, favor, open doors, new positions, new assignments, new levels of destiny, divine destiny partners, all of these things that are accelerating in this hour. God is saying, won't you surrender it over to me? When you surrender and say, God, I give this desire to you. I want to be in alignment with your will. I give you my time clock. I give you my demands. I give it all to you. We will see God suddenly come like never before when we least expect it. The amazing thing about this testimony about my son is that he got a call out of the blue. Somebody say out of the blue, out of the blue. Out of the blue. You're getting a call out of the blue. You're getting some type of message out of the blue. And God is saying that I'm in control of all of this anyway. I'm in control of all of it anyway. And so my son got a call out of the blue for a place where he didn't even audition. And they found him. And I said something the other day on one of the videos I was doing for all of us who chase and wear ourselves out and emotional exhaustion and fatigue because we cannot rest in God. I said that let it come to you. I mean, this time around, let it come to you. This time around, trust God and rest in him, that he sees you. One of the other things I often say is that God doesn't need a reason to bless you, right? He can bless you. And my son and I actually talked about this. He can bless you just because. We can get into religion and think I have to do 50 more fasts or I have to obey this and this and that. And all of those things are amazing, right? Obedience, fasting, any principle of our faith that makes it easier on us because it purifies our spirit and motive. However, there are certain things that God is going to do suddenly in your life just because he's good, just because it's time, just because the appointed time of your destiny is here, just because he already saw before you were formed in your mother's womb what your life would be. Your steps are already ordered. The blessings are already here. The Lord of angel armies, the Lord of hosts has already gone ahead of you and made the path straight just because. So expect the unexpected, remain in expectation, remain in expectancy, because when you least expect it, the suddenlies of God are going to move. And again, one of the quickest ways to get to the suddenlies is through surrender. Amen. Just expect moves of God, but expect the good surprises. We're not in control of everything. And sometimes God moves suddenly when we least expect it, just to show us, surprise, I'm the one in control. I never forgot about you. Isn't the time right now? When it finally comes, and it feels like finally, but when you finally are sitting with it, you don't lament or mourn over all the time that it took to get there. You were just so grateful that God was gracious enough not to give it to you outside of the divine time. Amen. So suddenly, when you least expect it, through the power of surrender, God is going to surprise you with his goodness and love. So let me go and catch up, y'all. Let me get on my game. Let me show the strength of the Lord within me. Amen. God bless you guys.